there with Downs. He's not the kind of guy you guys have drafted at that position since Ballard's really been here. You have T.Y., I get it. But, Ballard has tight. He's like 6 feet taller. This is a way different one. Is this Shane? Was this just kind of getting a little bit of variation at that position? And obviously, he's really productive.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. And, this is a guy he didn't just sprout up like 2 weeks ago. This is a guy we've been on since last summer, really. Tremendously productive 2021. Came back this year again. The guy has over 200 catches, 20-some touchdowns in his career. Is a playmaker. We don't have a whole lot, like you said, we don't have a whole lot of guys like him. He's kind of a human chain mover. Like, good luck covering him in a short area. I come up with the nicknames for guys. I kind of call him Hiccup because he's quick as a hiccup, and your only solution to get rid of him is drink some water, sit on the bench, and hope he goes away. That's kind of the guy.
He talked about how much Reggie Wayne talked to him at the combine and really was impressed by him over even some other receivers. Did you have conversations with Reggie and when he gives an endorsement like that, given Reggie's past, how much does that factor in?
Huge. Reggie Wayne should be in the Hall of Fame. Make sure you get that. But he's a tremendous coach also, and I scouted Reggie when he was coming out. That's how long I've been around. And when he steps on the table for a guy, it only makes it that much better, And Josh did do a great job at the combine, which again wasn't a surprise. Like I knew that was going to happen. This is a dynamic athlete that really knows how to play football. I think he's going to really bring a lot to our offense.
Yeah, how much of his background, he's got, Dre Bly's his uncle, his dad played in the NFL. I think I saw he didn't even have any 30 visits. Just how much of the character, the football character, is part of his evaluation here?
Oh, it's fantastic. And that's just a slam dunk. He is a great kid. And you see that he was raised not only around football, but just raised right. His parents are really good people. You can see that reflective of the kid that he is. His football character is awesome. There's not a person in the building in North Carolina that has one bad thing to say about him, and they all gush about him. And then when I finally get a chance to interact with him, you see it personified. He's a great kid. I was just texting with him this morning. Here's a guy who just got drafted to the NFL last night. I'm sure you've got a lot of other stuff to do other than talk to a fat old guy, but he's having a text conversation with me because he's a genuine human being.
Tommy, who'd you have again? Sorry.
I had Juju, Evan, and Tommy.
Okay. Well, tell us what was the defining thing for Juju for you?
Yeah, so with Juju, it's hard to find guys that are 6'3", 200 pounds, 34-inch arms, and move around as well as he does. Not only can he run in a straight line, but the athleticism, the quickness, the feet. He's improved every year since he was at Iowa all the way up to K-State now. And he's also been battle tested. He went up against Quentin Johnston twice this year, and they both had some good back and forth battles with one another. So, it's hard to shy away from a guy with that type of size, and he's not afraid to hit people either.
I was going to ask about, he calls it running through the smoke. I don't know what he told you all.
Yeah.
Can you describe, the hitting style and maybe just the controlled fearlessness that he uses, when he does that?
Yeah, give the kid credit. He bet on himself. He transferred out of Iowa, went to Kansas State, and you pop on the tape, and he's not shying away from any type of contact. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I think especially playing in his hometown city, that chip's going to be even bigger when he knows he's got a bunch of fans and family and friends at each game. So, there was no question with his competitive side. He played through injuries and all that, so he's a good one.
And you guys call him Tommy, is that right?
Tommy, yeah. Tommy Will.
So we'll just call him that for short. So he wants to play the 3? He's more comfortable there?
Yeah, the good thing about him is he is versatile. Obviously, he went down in the Senior Bowl, and that was kind of his first real full showing at 3 technique. Did a little bit of that Northwestern and sub package. So I think the versatility he's going to have on our defense is going to be good in sub package. But yeah, looking at him as a 3 technique.
With Juju and with Tommy, these are two guys whose athletic profiles don't really compare to anyone. When you were going through the process and you're seeing just the traits on those two guys specifically, just what stands out?
Yeah, obviously their athletic profile, and when you're trying to do some player compares, it's hard to find one that compares to Juju. Size-wise and all that, you could say Sauce Gardner. No, I'm not saying he's Sauce Gardner, but Sauce ran 4.51. They were both long athletic cornerbacks. And then with Tommy, there's a few guys that if you look at them at the outside, you got like the Melvin Ingram type role, the Geno Atkins type on the inside. So that's one, when you're looking at it and you're seeing player comparison, there's a lot of good players there. That's definitely something to stamp the profile with.
I know this is not specifically your assignment, but everybody played a role in the quarterback selection, obviously. And then you're in the drafting for that moment. It's a culmination of so much work and effort. What did you recall about Thursday night for either of you or both?
We were all comfortable. Obviously, it was a sit there and wait for 4, but we knew we were going to get our guy when the time was right.
I guess let me put it this way too. Like it's been such a big issue for your organization, right? Your quarterback is such a big decision, and to see it come together, is it relieving? Is it just satisfying? Is there a way to describe it? Maybe.
I would say it's relieving, especially getting the guy that we all wanted, and not having to go up and get him. We sat at 4. We were comfortable with it, and we got the guy that we were going to take no matter where it was.
Nerves at all?
A little bit.
Dreaming.
That third position, that third spot was a little nervous, but once we heard who traded up, we were pretty good.
Chad, who did you have besides Josh?
I'm sorry?
Who did you have besides Josh?
Leo. Titus Leo from
Yeah, that's
Wagner.
kind of you guys already have a Wagner guy. With Chris Williams. You got a pipeline going there. How do you find Titus?
So that process actually took a little bit of a while because we rate schools coming out of the spring, A, B, C, D. If it's a D school, you don't have to necessarily visit. You can just do them on film. Wagner was a D. Saw the film, was like, hey, this guy's kind of interesting. Then he ends up going to the East-West game. Credit Mike Lacey. He was responsible for the D-line out there and said, hey, this guy really popped. Interviewed him, liked the interview. So again, it's always a collaboration. It's not just I like this guy and I got him here. It's I liked him, Mike Lacey liked him, we got him in the room, everybody liked him. Then we brought him here. He did a great job when he was here, presented himself really well. So it was a real team process, and he was a guy that really took the entire process for us to stamp him. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that plays with his hair on fire. I was going to swear there, but I edited it myself. Plays with his hair on fire. He can run. He's got some pass rush ability. He's a good kid. He wants to win. He wants to play football the right way. So there were a lot of enticing things about him.
He's played so many different positions. Do you feel like he's finally found the one that fits him, the edge rusher spot?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought he could be attractive to the 34 teams as an outside linebacker as well. But I mean, he looks the most interesting and the most upside, has the most upside when you watch him as a pass rusher. Hey man, just get upfield and go, hit the guy with the ball, So I think we're going to be able to make use of his traits that way. Coach Bradley will put him in position to succeed. And like I said, I mean, the guy plays 100 miles an hour, so we like that too.
Most of the guys we draft, well, a lot of the guys we draft, you've been watching for years, right? He didn't even come on radar until very recently. I guess that pretty unique.
Yeah, because again, like we start with a certain level player in the summer. Like I know who Josh Downs is. I'd seen him play anyways. But then, a guy like that, and that's great. That's why the process is the way it is. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And like there are many stages along the way, and it's great that you get to pick up a guy like that because of the way the process is.
Is it a skill to play as hard as he does? I know players say this, I'm like, yeah, I play hard. They're going to see on the tape. And I'm not an expert. I can look at some tape and be like, I don't play hard every snap. So is that a skill, like to have that, to be that?
So when I'm interviewing guys, the last question I usually ask them is, why do we want you to wear the horseshoe? And then before they go to answer, I say, listen, don't tell me you love football and don't tell me you play hard, because that's what you're supposed to do. Now, there are some guys that just take it to another level. He's one of those guys. We put a high motor tag on a guy who is just exceptional, both with his inline play, his pursuit. Guy just doesn't take downs off, and that's one of the things that stood out to him is, hey, he plays our kind of ball. Like his motor never quits, and there's guys that play hard, but sometimes they might, okay, I'm not going to make the play, I'm going to stop, whatever. But he plays the way we want him to play.